Hi, my name is Brian with Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio, and welcome back to another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com.
We have a Kenmore refrigerator, and the complaint is that we're leaking water, and the water line going up to the ice maker is actually coming off of the fill tube. So what we found is the fill tube is clogged with ice, so that the ice maker isn't getting any water, so obviously it's not producing any ice. And the pressure when the water valve tries to fill the ice maker is actually blowing off the line from the pressure buildup at the fill tube. The tools you will need for this repair is a 1/4-inch nut driver or bit for your drill and a pair of adjustable pliers. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is get to the fill tube to be able to clear the ice out of it. So to be able to get to the fill tube, we're going to first take our shelf off so we can access our ice maker. And we'll take out the ice bucket and give us some room in there to work. Next thing we're going to do is take our ice maker out. We're going to have a couple 1/4-inch screws that holds the ice maker in place and a wiring harness going to the ice maker. Alright, so there was 2 1/4-inch screws that hold the ice maker at the top here, and you don't have to take those screws completely out. It's kind of keyed and slotted to where the ice maker will sit onto the screws, and then you can tighten them up. And then there's one screw going into the bottom of the ice maker through this bracket here. It was a 1/4-inch screw as well, and then the wiring harness plugs into the back wall there. Just had a couple tabs that you push in on the Molex connector, and then you're able to pull it out. And then we have our fill tube here that's clogged with ice. So the fill tube, I believe, should come straight out. So to get our fill tube out, to be able to clear the ice out of it, we're going to go to the back of the refrigerator here and pull it. This one comes out through the back. We have our water line that's going up to the fill tube that goes to the ice maker. So we're just going to pull this out, pull the water line out of the fill tube housing. There is a spring clamp on here that gives tension onto the hose that keeps it in place. Next we're going to pull our fill tube out, and to do that I'm going to use some pliers here. You might be able to use your hand. We're going to twist it slightly and just pull out on it. You can see that the fill tube has notches here, and then it's notched on the back of the refrigerator, so you have to put it in an angle and then lock it in place by churning it. Alright, now that we got our fill tube off, we're just going to get all the ice cleared out of it. You could use a screwdriver or something. Easier way to do it is just to run some hot water through one end and get the ice melted out, and make sure you're getting water coming out the other end. And you can see we got the ice melted out of there. It's coming out the other end there. So to make sure you get it all out of there, that there's no ice left in it. Alright, now that we got the fill tube cleaned out, we're going to reinstall it through the back of the refrigerator here into the freezer. We're going to churn it so that the grooves on the fill tube housing match up with the grooves in the back of the refrigerator here, and then we're going to churn it so it's straight up and down, and that will lock it into place so it doesn't go anywhere. Next, we're going to reinstall our ice maker water line to the fill tube. I'm going to take the spring clamp and slide it over the hose, and we're going to push our ice maker hose back into the fill tube and reattach our clamp. Alright, next we can reinstall our ice maker back into the freezer. We got our 2 tabs here that will fit on top of the 2 screws at the top here. We want to make sure our fill tube goes into the hole here the fill cup of the ice maker, and we have our wiring harness that will plug into the connection at the back of the freezer wall there. So the first thing I'm going to do is you want to plug in your connector first so it's out of the way, and then you want to hang the ice maker onto the 2 screws and make sure the fill tube goes through the fill cup there. And we're also going to have our screw through the bracket to the bottom of the ice maker. These are all 1/4" screws, and now we're just going to tighten all our screws up. Alright, next we're going to run the ice maker through a test so that we can get it to fill up with water and cycle through. That way we can check if, for any leaks and make sure that the ice maker is working properly. So the first step in doing that is we're going to want to take the front cover of our ice maker off. Sometimes you can just pull it off. It has a couple of tabs on the cover here, top and bottom, that latch on to the face of the ice maker. You can use a screwdriver, a flat-bladed screwdriver, to pry in between the cover and where it seats to the face of the ice maker here to help you in taking the cover off. To put the ice maker into a test, we're going to have to use a jumper wire to get it started up again, because right now it recently ran through a test, so it's waiting until the thermostat is satisfied inside the ice maker to cycle again. So by using the jumper wire, we're going to manually cycle the ice maker. So to do this, you want to always start with power off to the unit and then install your jumper wire before restoring power to the unit. What we're going to do is we're going to go from the, there's a couple holes in the face of the ice maker here. The 2 that we're using today are going to be T and H. They're right next to each other. So we're going to insert our jumper into T and into H. And you'll notice now with power back on that we have the ice maker is rotating here, the gear's rotating. You're going to hear a click after about 5 seconds. It just clicked, and that means now that it's advanced past the point where you can remove the jumper, and it will continue running on its own and go through the cycle. So it's going to take a couple seconds for it to go through its cycle, and at the end of the cycle it will fill up with water where we can check for water leaks. Alright, so cycle just finished with the ice maker, and I see no drips at all inside of the freezer here, which is a good sign. So we're going to go to the back of the unit, make sure our line's still attached and that there was no leaks back there as well.
Thank you for watching another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com.